All right, good morning, guys. Here's my daily video journal on the cryptocurrency market. It's going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, and composition. Here's kind of what I have in my journal for today. So I'm going to be focusing on those coins that I just mentioned. My bias for today is bearish, okay, because futures is twapping the Bitcoin price up, and then once the twap stops, there will be an opportunity for a short. So just looking at the Bitcoin CVDs, as you can see, futures is kind of trending up here while spot has been selling. So in particular, this divergence between futures and spot tells me that this move here is not organic, and that it's most likely that this is going to be reversed, potentially taking out this low and this low. Ideally, for my bearish case scenario, I'd like to see us get rejected at whatever point we do here. Maybe it's going to be in this order block, or who knows. At some point, I think we will get rejected, and then we will come down, take out these lows, and ideally, I'd like to see an entry right here. Maybe if we can wick down to the POC, that would be also very nice for continuation higher. Yeah, because I do think this move overall is bullish since we did have spot bidding, but I do think we're going to have some sort of retracement before we continue higher. So that's kind of my bearish scenario for Bitcoin. My bullish scenario would be if the spot bid magically started picking up and started bidding heavy, and we started accepting above here. Like if we made our way up here and we kind of started accepting here, then that would be very bullish to me, and I expect us to continue higher. Okay, which coin looks the strongest today? So Solana looks to be the strongest since the spot CVDs have been flat, accumulating, and future CVD has been more bullish, showing strength. So basically, if we take a look at Solana here, you kind of had this this accumulation period that happened at the lows here, and as you can see, future or spot is kind of had this nice rounded bottom. It's been kind of flat and accumulating, while futures has been bidding up very aggressively. So you had this nice move here. Was not able to capture this because unfortunately I was sleeping. It was like it's like 1 a.m. During this. Okay, so Solana is definitely looking the strongest to me. I would expect if Bitcoin does roll over and we do get a nuke, obviously we'll come back down here, probably retest the bottom of this. So there could be a move for a retracement, but you have to be careful. I don't know if I'll be shorting Solana today because it is showing strength. You can honestly just blast up right here. The only way I'd be comfortable shorting Solana is if we made our way up here. We actually tagged this, right? And we started distributing for a potential short back to the downside. Otherwise, I'd rather just short a coin that looks a bit more weaker. Yeah, Solana is looking pretty good. Just checking the funding rates, let's see, and the yeah, funding rates have been kind of flat. Open interest has been increasing here. Looks like you are getting a little bit of a squeeze up though with some of the open interest that's closing there. Okay, which coin looks the weakest? Okay, XRP and Bitcoin look the weakest because prices are currently being supported by futures TWAP. So we saw it in Bitcoin where futures is twapping price up, spot is selling. It looks like Bitcoin is starting to roll over here. Who knows if this is actually if this was actually the top, or if we're going to take another stab. I think if Bitcoin especially takes out this low, okay, then I'd start to look for a short position on the way back, some sort of retracement. But if we don't take out this low, then I think it's more likely that we continue up higher to probably mitigate more of these positions. But anyways, with Bitcoin, we can see the futures TWAP happening with the divergence between futures and spot CVDs, and you can see the same thing with XRP, where you can see spot is selling here and futures is starting to climb up, right? And there is a little bit of accumulation that's going on right here where the bid is starting to pick up, but it's ultimately futures that led the move up. So honestly, Bitcoin is the coin that looks the weakest to me, so I might just short Bitcoin today. I don't know if I'm going to touch the altcoins because they are kind of looking strong. If I do go look for bounce scalps to the top, it'll be Solana. Composition is also looking decent. It looks like you do have accumulation from spot. As you can see, it's kind of flat, but futures is holding down the market. So composition is composition kind of has a mind of its own. And I don't know if I'm going to touch composition today unless we get some clear definitive signal, because as soon as futures starts bidding, you have massive squeezes to the upside, as you can see with this here. Clear my head for, treat today like a new day. I know yesterday wasn't a very good day, but I have a whole new plan for today, and I'm confident that it'll play out. So I'll see you guys at the end of the trading day later. All right, internet, so it is the end of the trading day for me, and here is my video review of how everything went. Okay, so how did today go? Today was better than yesterday, but still poor performance. Today was bearish and all my trades were longs. Okay, so I correctly identified today's bias correctly as bearish, but for some reason all my trades were longs. In hindsight, it doesn't make sense to me why I did this. Like, I identified correctly that Bitcoin was going to be bearish, and today was bearish, yet all my trades were longs, right? So not good. I kept trying to long Bitcoin, Sol, and composition and attempt to catch the bottom. So this was like my error right here. I was just trying to catch the bottom, but instead I should have stuck with the trades that fit my bias, right? So I should have been shorting, right? As opposed to trying to catch the bottom, I should have just been shorting, going along with the trend, going along with my bias. So I'm done trading for today because I've had 3 net misses. This is going to be my limit, 3 strikes, and basically I'm out. So yeah, 3 misses, and this is going to be net misses. So if I had like a win in here, right, then and a miss, that would cancel each other out. But if I have just 3 net misses, then I'm just going to be done trading. So that's going to be my limit going forward. What went well today? So the Sol trade I took, even though I got stopped out, was executed precisely how I'd like all my trades to be executed. I entered on high volume, and I had a tight stop loss for invalidation. Okay, so here's the Sol trade I had. Let me come over here. I basically entered in on high volume right here on this down candle right there. So I entered that, and as soon as the market went up there, I moved my stop loss to right below, right? So even though I got stopped out right here, it was executed precisely how I want my trades to be executed, because, you know, I got stopped out, but that saved me the pain of experiencing all of this. You know, if I had my stop loss down here, you know, I would have taken a much greater hit. So even though that was a miss, I'm still happy with how I executed that. Okay, other things that went well today, I correctly identified the Bitcoin bias. Okay, the TWAP was indeed occurring, and once the TWAP stopped, the local low was taken out just as I anticipated. If I can consistently correctly identify Bitcoin's bias, trading on the right side of the market will come more easily. My bearish scenario was futures TWAP comes to a halt, taking out 29.3 and making our way to the POC of 29.2. And that's exactly what happened, right? So if we check the CVDs for Bitcoin, you can see at the start of the day, we had this TWAP that we talked about. Futures bidding, spot selling, right? The TWAP comes to a halt right here once this UT is put in, right? And then after that, we come and we take out this low, 29.3, just as anticipated. So that does make me happy that I was able to identify the bias correctly, right? But again, my execution, my psychology was off, and did not allow me to capitalize on the opportunities that presented itself today. Okay, also I identified a potential pattern of recognizing when a spring will occur or when a low will be ran. So see Figma notes. All right, so basically I've seen this enough times to the point where I think there could be something to it. Of course, this is not financial advice, and this is just a working theory at the moment. A lot of times I'll see these red candles this is on a 10-second chart, by the way, but I'll see these red candles that appear with high delta, and that often foreshadows like a liquidation event of some sort, or some sort of a down thrust, some sort of spring. As you can see, we did have a spring right here that took out this low, right? And here is the same thing occurring, but on a minute chart, you can see in some of these candles, the high delta that occurs right here. High delta, the candles are red, right? So this tells me that, okay, even though there's a lot of buying pressure here, there's someone up above with limit orders, limit sells that are pushing the price down. And this is just something that I'm going to pay attention to a little bit more, because I do think it could potentially foreshadow when you do have a big liquidation event or a big spring down like you did right here. So just a note to keep mind of. Also, I stopped trading after 3 net losses, so I didn't overtrade, which is good. So what can be improved today? Sticking to trades which fit my daily bias, checking the Bitcoin pairs for alts, for confluence. So basically, one thing I need to incorporate into my daily prep is also looking at the Bitcoin pairs. This is Solana here against Bitcoin, and as you can see, there seems to be a connection between when you have bottoms in the Bitcoin pair versus when bottoms come in the USD pair. As you can see for Solana, we've been in this channel for how long? We've been in this channel for 7 hours, and it seems like the price is respecting the channel. When we get to the bottom of the Bitcoin pair, it also signals a potential bottom in the USD pair. Again, right here, same thing happens. So, and it looks like there is a little bit of confluence at the tops too. Like, so you can see once we get to the top here, for Bitcoin, it kind of signals the top here. It's not as clean here as it is here. This is something that I just want to keep mind of. Also looking at XRP here, you can see simple TA, right? Resistance line right here. Once we came down here in the Bitcoin pair, that actually did mark the bottom right here. So tiny stuff like that I want to Also keep note of, I just want to make looking at the BTC pair a part of my altcoin regimen to potentially look for signals and confluence. Okay, remember to look at the Wyckoff structure for alts and Bitcoin. I didn't do that today and missed the comp UTAD, which could have signaled to look for shorts. So comp was actually the weakest coin today. It's just been down only, and I could have identified that if I would have recognized the UTAD right here. As you can see, we've kind of been consolidating in this range for a day, right? And we finally broke this high with this UTAD right here. Yeah, if I would have just taken some time to look at the larger Wyckoff structure at play, then I would have been able to identify that, hey, this could be potentially a UTAD here, which would mean that we're gonna break down out of the structure, right? I should probably look for shorts, so stuff like that. Also, I can go to bed a bit earlier. I went to bed pretty late yesterday, and as a result, I woke up later than I'd like to, so definitely need to go to bed earlier. Some notes to myself, okay. So same stuff I've already been talking about. So make sure I take trades that are on the side of my bias. Okay, make sure to check the Bitcoin pairs for alts, for confluence. When price is bearish, expect retests of the bottom of the range as opposed to the middle of the range. So that goes to kind of how I was trading today. If price is bullish, the larger time frame narrative is bullish, when you do get these swings down, right, and you have a high that's set right here, right, the retracement will often come to the midpoint before. So that's what you can expect when price is bullish, like you have some sort of consolidation, right? And then when you break out, right, so you would take the low from here to the high, wherever the retracement is. When it comes back, you can expect like pullbacks to the middle of the range. That's something that I've seen happen time and time again with Bitcoin. Again, not financial advice, but when price is bearish, okay, so if you're expecting more of a downtrend, instead, when you get these consolidations, right, and you have a potential breakout, price isn't going to come back to test the middle, right? Price instead is going to probably revisit the lower part of the range. This drawing is kind of bad. Let me show a better example. Okay, so for example, right here, right, if you wanted to get involved on this move up because you think that Bitcoin is going to go up, which is something I tried to do, right? I tried to get involved on the midpoint of the range, right? Because I took the low and the high here, tried to get involved in the middle, and of course it nuked through. Instead, it's coming back down to the bottom of the range because the larger time frame structure is bearish. In general, I shouldn't have even been getting involved with that, because if you take this high to this low right here, as you can see, the price is still at a premium here. So I shouldn't have even been getting involved here. I should have waited till we had like a breakdown into a discount. But then again, see, price is bearish, right? So you can't expect to get a clean retest off the midpoint, right? We actually broke through, right? So if this is indeed the bottom right here, if that is the bottom, then, you know, it would make more sense to get involved here at a discount. The chances of you having a clean breakout like that is smaller when it is bearish. But just looking at Solana, prices, the larger time frame is bearish, right? So see, we're not getting clean retests off the midpoint of the structure. Okay, if we come up to right here, see, we don't get a clean retest off the midpoint of the structure here. We break down through, right? Because the larger time frame at play is bearish. Move up here and you had a retracement right here, so we're bearish, right? But if you're bullish, so for example, at the bottom here, like this bottom, you can see if we go up here, see, you get a nice clean tap off the center, right? Before continuing higher. And then you can do it from this swing high to this swing low, right? Look at that, you get a nice clean tap off the center because it is bullish, right? It's bullish, and we had like that move up there, right? You don't always get those sort of retracements, though. I wonder if this made it. Yeah, you got a clean retracement right there off the center. Kind of rambling there, but what else? Tomorrow's focus. Okay, identifying the bias and sticking to trades with that bias. Waking up early and refreshed. Okay, yeah, so that's my focus for tomorrow. Also going through my newly added prep. So I changed my template here for my trading regimen for the start of my session. I added more questions and I added more stuff for the end of the session. So I hope to just update this over time as I think of stuff, right? But I think it's super important for me to have the discipline to go into my journal and answer these questions before I even start trading, because this is kind of like my plan. This is like the thing that's going to tell me how I need to be executing today, what my bias is, and like how I should be trading, right? I have other stuff in here which honestly should be pushed up a little bit higher, but it's okay. What was BTC's price action? Bearish as expected. Which coin was the strongest? XRP showed strength. Okay, which coin was the weakest? Composition was the weakest. Yeah, XRP did show quite a bit of strength after we came down here, right, it was bearish for the majority of today, right? Until Bitcoin put in this low right here. XRP could have been a decent one to look for shorts, although I don't know if there was very many short opportunities in here. Maybe right here, right? I think composition would have been the best to go short. You could have had like a nice short entry in probably at the top somewhere around here, right? Or even right here. This was like, yeah, this was during 10 o'clock. So all right, so that is it for today. Thanks for watching. If you watched the entire thing, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.